Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Sharika Jackson signs deal as Scotiabank's first brand ambassador. Olympic 100 bronze medalist Sharika Jackson has become the first brand ambassador for Scotiabank. The sponsorship arrangement with the financial institution comes months ahead of the 2022 World Athletics Championships, scheduled for July 15 to 24 in the United States, and will see the bank giving support to athletic career for the next 3 years. This is the first time in the bank's 132-year history that they have inked an ambassadorship deal that is also Jackson's first local corporate endorsement deal. The partnership will see the two-time Olympian representing Scotia as she competes across the globe both on and off the track. Ardley Tugwell Henry, President and CEO of Scotia Group Jamaica, lauded Jackson for her career accomplishments and welcomed her to the Scotiabank family. "We are beyond elated to welcome Sharika to the Scotiabank family, and we are very honored to be part of her journey. This is a proud first for us at Scotiabank, and we are very excited to be able to partner with such a dynamic athlete who is loved both locally and internationally." Another wanted man held in Portland. The Portland police have taken another wanted man off the streets. He is 33-year-old Horace Kenton, an electrician mechanic, also called Weedy, of Merton Pen, Long Road in the parish. The police report that Kenton was picked up on Wednesday in a raid. Kenton was reportedly wanted in a case of larceny of a motor vehicle which was committed on September 25, 2021 in Snow Hill, Portland. According to the police, on the day the vehicle was stolen, its intelligence machinery and its swift action led to the vehicle being intercepted, and Kenton managed to escape. Through the assistance of the residents of Portland, we have captured 4 people who were listed on our wanted and persons of interest list since the start of 2022, said Superintendent Kenneth Chin, head of the Portland Police Division. With the cooperation of our residents and robust operational activities, as February 16, 2022, Portland has experienced an 83% decrease in serious and violent crimes when compared to 2021, added Chin. He is urging residents of Portland to report any suspected criminal activities to 119 or 311. Persons can also contact the operational office at 876-322-9357 or 876-440-1526, Port Antonio CIB at 876-322-9263 or the Port Antonio Guard Room at 876-322-9368 to report any suspicious activities. Mentally ill man shot dead by police in Portland. A 32-year-old man believed to be mentally ill was shot dead by police in Portland after he allegedly attacked the lawmen and set fire to a computer resource center. He has been identified as Dwayne Brooks. According to the police, Brooks is believed to have set the Fruitful Vale Computer and Resource Center on fire after he broke into it and attempted to steal several items. The police report that they were on patrol duties when they received a call about a fire at the computer center and went to investigate. It is further reported that while the police were on the scene, residents summoned them to a yard where a man was behaving boisterously. The police say members of the patrol team went to the yard where Brooks attacked one of the cops with a knife. Officer reportedly used pepper spray to try to subdue Brooks, but he continued his attack. According to the report, the policeman then pulled his gun and discharged 2 rounds in the direction of Brooks, hitting him. Brooks was then taken to the Port Antonio Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. A hiace bus belonging to Brooks was found nearby with equipment believed to be stolen from the Computer and Resource Center. Residents of the area later reported that Brooks was suffering from mental issues. The fatal shooting has been reported to the Independent Commission of Investigation. Construction worker gunned down in Mountain View. A 21-year-old construction worker was chased and shot dead by gunmen in Mountain View area of St. Andrew on Wednesday. The deceased has been identified as Ricardo Taylor. Reports are that while Taylor and a colleague carried out work at a construction site in the area, they were pounced on by armed hoodlums. Further reports are that Taylor ran up, seeing the men, but was chased. He was later shot several times before his attackers fled from the area. The police were summoned, and the wounded man was assisted to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Investigations are ongoing. Lottery scamming task force arrests St. James woman, over 1 million seized. A woman was arrested by members of the lottery scam task force, supported by the Constabulary Financial Unit and members of the St. James Operational Support Team during an ongoing operation in St. James on Thursday. According to information retrieved from the Jamaica Constabulary Force's official Instagram account, the lawmen seized a vast amount of cash, including $701,000 and $3,000. A Marks X motor car was also seized. Investigations are ongoing. Brothers charged with murder of Trelawny farmer. Two brothers have been arrested and charged with the murder of 63-year-old Winston Stewart, otherwise called Manor, a farmer of Mackhill District, Clarkstown in Trelawny. Charged with murder and conspired to prevent the lawful burial of a corpse are 46-year-old Andrew Green, otherwise called Denty, and 49-year-old Alan Green, otherwise called Corey, farmers of Clarkstown. It is reported that on February 1, Stewart was reported missing. A man turned himself into the police, where he confessed that Alan and Andrew were seen with the body of Stewart. Both men were taken into custody, where they admitted that they chopped Stewart to death and burned his body on the farm. The brothers were subsequently charged after the question and answer session. Only God knows my name. A federal jury in Jacksonville, Florida on Wednesday found an unidentified man, purportedly a Jamaican, who was charged as John Doe, guilty of 3 counts of obstructing his deportation. Doe, whose real name is yet to be ascertained, faces a maximum penalty of 4 years in prison for each count, stated a release from the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Florida on Wednesday. The sentencing for the alleged Jamaican is set for May 16. During the course of his illegal presence in the United States, dating as far back as 1985, the man has used the names of Freddie Davis, Dave Davis, Patrick Melbourne, Frank Douglas, and Danny Brooks, among others. According to the testimony and evidence presented at trial, Doe was first encountered by immigration authorities in January of 1985 in Miami, Florida. At that time, he attempted to enter the United States from Jamaica by claiming to be a U.S. citizen named Freddie Davis, the U.S. Attorney's Office said. After determining that he was not an American citizen, Doe was returned to Jamaica. Resolute in his attempts to enter the United States once more, Doe entered the country again via West Palm Beach, Florida in February 1985. Doe on that occasion claimed to be a citizen of the Bahamas and used a fraudulent Bahamian passport in the name of Joseph Garden. He was subsequently deported to Jamaica once more. Sometime later, at an unknown place and time, Doe successfully entered the United States illegally and was encountered by immigration authorities in Dallas in September 1988 after serving a prison sentence, the release stated. Doe changed his story again by falsely informing law enforcement officials that his name was Joseph Garden and explained that he was an American citizen born in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, but later said that he was a citizen of the Bahamas. Doe later appeared before an immigration judge and was ordered deported from the United States for a 3rd time. But he was not deported at that time, the U.S. Attorney's Office was quoted as stating in the release, while failing to provide reasons why the deportation failed to proceed. In June 2018, after completing a prison sentence in Florida, Doe was taken into custody by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement into Miami, this time using the name Ricardo Jones, the name under which he was convicted. Deportation was again being considered, but because Doe's true identity could not conclusively be determined, the Jamaican authority told ICE they needed more information to verify that he was a Jamaican citizen, evidence and testimony at the trial said. Over the next several months, ICE and Jamaican authority attempted to determine Doe's true identity but were unsuccessful. Doe continued to obstruct his deportation and was repeatedly warned that he could be charged with same. The unidentified man was scheduled for an interview with the Jamaican consulate on January 18, 2019, but he refused to speak to them. Then an IC officer intervened and inquired his name, to which Doe alleged a response, "Only God knows my name." He was transferred to ICE custody in Baker County that month. By March 2019, ICE again attempted to obtain a travel document to deport Doe to Jamaica. The Jamaican consulate once again informed ICE that it could not issue a travel document for Doe because there was no conclusive evidence that Doe was a citizen of Jamaica, stated the U.S. Attorney's Office. ICE again made 3 further attempts to obtain Doe's cooperation to identify him on April 17, June 20, and July 23, 2019, but he refused to comply, claiming that he needed an attorney to advise him. Doe was indicted on October 24, 2019 for 3 counts of obstructing his deportation. This case was investigated by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement and removal operations. Make safety a top priority as children continue face-to-face learning, JCF urges parents. The Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF has issued an advisory to parents urging them to take precautions with their children, especially those who will be walking or using public transportation to get to and from school. In a release, the JCF shared that in light of the resumption of face-to-face classes at most schools island-wide, parents should make the safety of their children top priority. Issuing tips on how to do so, the JCF expressed that children are the world's most valuable resource and its best hope for the future, and pleaded with parents to help the police to keep our children safe, as it takes a community to raise a child. Among the requests made by the JCF are that parents teach children their full name, address, and telephone number, and to ensure that children know how to contact them at work. It also urges parents to ensure that children have a trusted adult to call if they're scared or had an emergency. Cyber safety was also an important issue for the JCF, which encouraged parents and guardians to not only learn about the internet, but to monitor the time their children spend online and caution them against posting revealing information or inappropriate photos online. The JCF ended its advisory by reminding parents to teach their children that it is okay to say no to anything that makes them feel scared, uncomfortable, or confused, and teach your children to tell you if anything or anyone makes them feel this way. Government provides $83 million for work on Western Children and Adolescent Hospital. Approximately $83 million has been allocated to continue work on the construction of the Western Children and Adolescent Hospital in Montego Bay, St. James during the new financial year. Details are outlined in the 2022-2023 estimates of expenditure now before the House of Representatives. The project is aimed at building a 220-bed facility on the compound of the Conroe Regional Hospital to provide medical services for a targeted population in Western Jamaica. Work under the project commenced in 2017 and up to the end of December 2021, several preliminary activities were completed, including road access and site clearance, utility relocation and reconnection, as well as security services. The project has now moved into Phase 2, and over the upcoming fiscal year, work will be done in parking facilities, while sewage and treatment systems will be upgraded. The Western Children Adolescent Hospital will be the first of its kind in the English-speaking Caribbean, offering specialist medical care for children and young people up to the age of 18 years. It is being funded by the Government of Jamaica and the Government of the People's Republic of China. Jamaica reports 83 new COVID cases, 14 deaths. Jamaica reported 83 new cases of coronavirus and 14 fatalities on Wednesday, according to the latest statistics from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. This pushed the total number of cases of the virus since the start of the pandemic to 127,377 and the death toll to 2,769. Of the newly reported cases, there were 40 females and 43 males, with ages ranging from 11 months to 108 years. The cases were recorded in St. Catherine 12, Westmoreland 3, Clarendon 6, Kingston and St. Andrew 21, St. James 11, St. Elizabeth 7, St. Mary 1, Manchester 7, St. Anne 2, Hanover 0, Portland 2 and Trelawny 2. The country also recorded 278 new recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries to 74,150. The positivity rate for the latest round of testing was 10.3%. There are 271 people hospitalized, 7 of them critically ill. There are 1,537 confirmed active cases on the island. Supreme ventures to support Jamaica Gymnastics in next Olympic Games. Supreme Ventures has announced that they will be providing support to Jamaica's national gymnastic program for the next 3 years. The announcement was made last weekend, just 1 week before the start of the newly renamed Supreme Ventures Gymnastic Classic 2022, which takes place this Saturday and Sunday. Speaking at a press conference at Jamaica Gymnastic headquarters, Supreme Ventures Corporate Communications and PR Manager Colleen Daly-Mushed surprised Jamaica Gymnastic President Nicole Grant Brown with the news that their partnership would not be for 1 but for 3 years. Supreme Ventures is proud to support this vision, and it is our distinct pleasure to vault into the sport of gymnastics by virtue of our expanded 3-year sponsorship of the Jamaican Olympic Association, JOA. The spectacular athleticism and beauty of the sport of gymnastics is a pleasure to witness, and we hope that this exhibition will inspire and educate these young gymnasts to become world champions, climbing even higher than the high standard set by Jamaica's Olympian Tony Williams and Francis, she said. Daly-Mushed said that she envisions Jamaica becoming a powerhouse in gymnastics in much the same way as they are in track and field, which Supreme Ventures has been supporting for many, many years. There is no reason why Jamaica cannot also become a powerhouse in the sport of gymnastics. We have the talent, we have the drive, and we have an endless supply of passion. Jamaica is coming along on the journey, and we become accustomed to our athletics program, expanding to include sports that we are not as accustomed to as others. A delighted Grant Brown thanked the JOA for establishing the partnership between Jamaica Gymnastics and Supreme Ventures. We are happy and elated that the vision of the Jamaica Olympic Association is wide enough to recognize that sports is important for the development of our country and have put so much effort in helping the sport of gymnastics to grow by marrying us with a partnership of this nature, she shared. Supreme Ventures, we thank you for supporting such well-needed resources at this stage of our development. It shows that you are one to work with sports in Jamaica from the beginning and not just when they are on top. We want to be Jamaica's most consistent Olympic sport and most participated by our youth in this country, and we cannot do it without companies like yours, Grant Brown continued, noting that she wants to see this sport introduced to children at a very early age, as it can help with their development in other sports as well. It is important to note that gymnastics is the foundation for all sports, and one of our goals is to incorporate the sport in the school's curriculum from kindergarten to grade 9, as it is done in other Caribbean countries. This is to enable the development of not just gymnastics, but other sports, as to enable and quickly develop motor skills, discipline, and a strong, flexible body, which is needed in all sports, and that's what gymnastics is about. The 2-day national championships will take place this Saturday and Sunday starting at 10 a.m. each day. The event brings together over 100 gymnasts from all affiliated clubs in Jamaica, as well as interest from overseas and national aspirants whose desire is to compete for Jamaica. This year, there are competitors from the USA, Canada, the UK, Trinidad and Tobago, and Jamaica. All will showcase their skills in a friendly competitive environment where all COVID protocols are and will be observed. The sponsorship from Supreme Ventures has enabled the association to add 2 much-needed judges to now include 4 highly qualified judges as part of the competition to properly judge and assess the athletes at the highest standards. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.